Today, we're setting the stage for an incredibly lucrative, rapidly growing market. We're talking about the on-demand mobile fuel delivery market in Canada, specifically looking ahead to the landscape of 2026. Now, this isn't just about some neat new app idea. It's about completely transforming how heavy industry, everyday consumers, and major logistics companies keep their engines running.
Picture this for a second. Imagine managing a massive 80-truck fleet spread across multiple Canadian provinces. Think about those brutal -30-degree Canadian winters, or maybe that one rogue moose that somehow always manages to block a major logistics route. How many productive hours are your drivers losing every single week just idling in line at gas stations? You've got heavy construction vehicles sitting completely idle just because a fuel run got delayed. Right now, emergency fuel requests heavily rely on manual phone calls, fragmented coordination, and seriously outdated systems. For businesses operating in Canada, this isn't just a minor headache. It's a massive bleed on time, money, and productivity.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our playbook for today. We'll unpack the fuel delivery problem, look under the hood at how the ecosystem works, break down the app types and models, navigate the core development challenges specific to the Canadian market, and finally, check out the top Canadian development partners. We're going to cover both the massive business opportunity and the critical technical execution required to actually pull it off.
Starting off with Section 1, the fuel delivery problem, and how we are modernizing outdated logistics. Look, we live in an era where you can track a $10 pizza right to your front door with pinpoint GPS precision. Yet, we've got multi-million-dollar logistics companies still sending drivers on manual, time-wasting detours just to fill up their tanks. It's crazy. The traditional fuel model is, quite frankly, a logistical nightmare. Now, what's really interesting about this is that the real question is no longer should you build a fuel delivery app. The real question is, how do you build it correctly? The sheer convenience model that completely disrupted food delivery, ride booking, and package logistics, it has officially arrived for the fuel industry. For fleet owners, construction businesses, and entrepreneurs, on-demand fuel is simply the smartest way to reduce downtime. So we're pivoting away from the obvious why of fuel apps and focusing entirely on the strategic how.
Let's move to Section 2, how the ecosystem works. These are the 3 pillars of fuel delivery.
See, a fuel delivery platform isn't just one single app. It's a highly synchronized ecosystem. Let's walk through the life cycle of an order across these 3 interconnected pillars. Step 1 is the customer app. This is where users hop on to select their fuel type, confirm their exact location, make digital payments, and track their delivery in real time. Easy enough, right? Step 2 is the driver app, and this one is absolutely crucial. The delivery partner uses this to receive those orders, navigate via optimized routes, complete mandatory safety checks, and finally confirm the delivery. And then step 3 is the admin panel. This is basically the brain of the entire operation. It's where the business manages live fleet tracking, fuel inventory levels, regulatory compliance documents, and dynamic pricing. All 3 of these pieces must talk to each other flawlessly, in real time, for the whole thing to work.
All right, Section 3, app types and models. Time to choose your business path.
Before you write a single line of code, you have to nail down your audience model and your deployment strategy for 2026. On one hand, we've got the B2C on-demand model. This is all about ultimate consumer convenience, literally delivering fuel directly to an individual's car at their home or their office. On the other hand, we have the B2B fleet model. Now, this is the heavy-duty corporate model. It focuses on scheduled or recurring deliveries for massive logistics and construction fleets. But here's the real secret. Many of the most successful platforms actually combine both of these. You could absolutely have an app that serves individual car owners on the weekend while simultaneously offering a separate, robust dashboard for business fleets during the week. Then you've got 2 more specialized models to consider. An aggregator marketplace doesn't actually own any fuel trucks themselves. Instead, it acts like a digital bridge, connecting customers with multiple existing fuel suppliers. This is brilliant for minimizing your own infrastructure costs. Just contrast that with the emergency roadside model, which capitalizes entirely on speed and urgency for stranded vehicles. As you can probably guess, each of these models requires a totally different operational strategy. So once you know your business model, you've got a big decision to make. How do you actually build the thing? Do you go all in with custom app development? This gives you 100% control over the source code, the branding, and the long-term scalability. It's absolutely perfect for businesses with super unique requirements and big expansion plans. Or do you choose a white label solution? This route is significantly faster and way more affordable. It's incredibly useful for startups that just want to test the Canadian market quickly before sinking massive amounts of capital into a fully bespoke platform. It really all comes down to your launch timeline and your budget.
Which leads us to Section 4, Core Development Challenges, specifically navigating the Canadian market.
So, the crucial point here is that building a fuel app is infinitely more complex than a food delivery app because, well, fuel is a highly regulated, hazardous material. Add in Canada's vast, spread-out geography, and you have 5 distinct traps that will instantly sink a cheap app trying to operate in this market. Number 1, regulatory compliance. Fuel transport rules vary wildly across Canadian provinces. Your app absolutely needs built-in audit logs and certification tracking. Number 2, GPS accuracy. You are often delivering to remote industrial sites or highways with terrible cell service, so your driver app must have offline map caching. Number 3, safety. You need mandatory digital checklists and built-in SOS support. Number 4, complex fuel inventory tracking, just to manage strict capacity limits. And number 5, dynamic pricing. Fuel prices fluctuate daily, right? So you need completely separate pricing structures for sudden emergency runs versus long-term B2B contracts.
And finally, Section 5, Top Canadian Development Partners. Who can actually build it right?
Because let's be real, a low-cost app is going to become incredibly expensive later on if it fails a compliance audit or a critical safety check. You have to match the right specialized development agency to your specific business needs. Let's break down the top providers for 2026 based on their core strengths. First up, if you are deeply concerned about crossing provincial lines and maintaining strict Canada-focused compliance, Nectarbits is a powerhouse for multi-region compliance-heavy workflows. Now, if you're a heavy-duty fleet operator needing complex hardware integrations, think smart locks and live IoT fuel level monitoring, you should definitely be looking at Sapphire or Decorb. On the flip side, if you're a fast-moving startup that just needs to validate market demand quickly and affordably with a really clean MVP, teams like Technic or AppNop are absolutely your go-tos. And lastly, for ready-made, white-label solutions that use cross-platform tech like Flutter to launch incredibly fast, agencies like ComfyGen or Hyperlink come highly recommended. The takeaway here? You don't just pick a name out of a hat. You align their core strengths with your exact business model.
So, what does this all mean for you? We've covered the core problem, the 3-part ecosystem, the various business models, the technical traps you need to avoid, and the expert partners out there who can actually build it for you. The on-demand economy is completely modernizing traditional fuel operations. It's reducing massive amounts of downtime and creating entirely new revenue streams. So the final question I want to leave you with today is this. Will you take the insights from this explainer, modernize your logistics, and be a real first mover in Canada's 2026 digital fueling market? Or will you just be left sitting idle, waiting at the pump? The opportunity is absolutely there for the taking. Thanks so much for joining me today.